That's my lesson for today. Don't set the Undertaker on fire.
That's the thing I would take away from it. Dun, dun. Here. Dun, dun, dun.
Yo,
Hey.
what's up?
Hold up.
Hi, Onan.
Nobody's here. Nobody's here.
Yeah, alright.
Who's protecting you?
And I think we're good to go. How you doing, sir?
Doing okay. Weird day today. I can't really explain it. Just
Same
kinda
on
like-
this end.
Yeah. I actually got a ton of art in like while I was driving home. So let me drop some links in the.
Awesome.
Sweet. Just before we were ready to do the book meeting, me and Bree went out in the rush of Christmas shopping to do grocery shopping.
Oh boy. Okay.
And we did it all. We were
That
so
was
proud. It's like,
yesterday.
yay. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit ago, Bree found a bag sitting on the table that we just didn't unpack, and it was all of our meat.
Oh,
All of it.
that's fun.
It's like $50 of meat.
Chicken,
It
steak,
was dinner for the week.
fucking, that
is
was
gone.
it.
Like,
Ugh,
And
hate that.
it was like, of all the any other bag,
and my
Yeah.
lunch burritos.
everything.
Could have been the bag of cookies. It was the bag
Right.
of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that happened, but it was just, it
Ugh.
happened. So,
Heartbreaking.
anywho,
That sucks.
yeah. I think it happens to every. It's a mistake you make once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that. I had like 2 whole bags full of leftover Chinese food that my parents gave me, and I left them in my car for a day.
Oh no.
And there's always that weird
So
part of your
much
lizard
Chinese food.
brain that it's like, how sick would I get?
Yeah, I know. I considered it. I was like, is some of this still edible?
I mean, it's winter, right?
That's
Yeah.
what Elle actually said that. We're in California and Elle was like, it's winter though, so maybe we can still
Nah.
eat it.
No.
Yeah. The only thing I hate more than wasting food is food poisoning, though. So
Right, and I was watching Natasha go through that
yeah.
on her Twitter,
Poor thing.
and yeah,
It didn't sound fun.
no, poor thing. I think it's just the flu, though, because it's been multiple days.
Yeah.
So, we
Mhm.
have gotten, collectively, December's been quite the month for progress, man. At least it
Yeah,
feels
you guys
that
have been
way.
kicking ass. Absolutely.
Trying. Now we got Val back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Val back,
Val's
so we'll be able to roll up that tail that we've built, which is
Yeah.
good.
I told the quote hunting people that Val is coming back, so like, hey, just stop even looking at the regions because you're not gonna get any quotes in time because Val's gonna fucking kill it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get some more for like characters and stuff soon, but
Hmm.
for the most part, yeah, I'm really excited to see regions just be completed finally.
That will be nice.
Yeah, let's just slay that dragon, man.
Sorry, I'm just posting all the new art in one big dump.
Is that Discord?
Yeah.
All right. I made a really crude mock-up of the book cover, the alt book cover.
I
Just
got a
as-
glimpse of that. Yeah.
It's an idea. Like, I'm trying to, like, yeah, that we don't have to talk about it right now. It was more just like, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, let's start with that. So I heard back from my buddy Jerome, who was a letterer for the pub crawl and also did the Bad Neighbor Comics logo for me.
He was gonna do layout for a little bit, or the cover.
We had talked about him doing either layout or cover or some combination of both for a while, yeah. And I asked him about this cover, and I gave him the examples that the printer had given to you guys, the Pokemon one and the Phenomenomicon.
I think.
And he was like, well, I'm not an illustrator, so it depends on how complex you want the actual image to be, but as far as like the design of the cover itself, like depending on what you want, I'll absolutely do it. And he gave me a price of like $125 or something like that.
Okay, shit.
Um,
Okay.
So if you want, I'll show him the mock-up that you did and be like, something like this, considering the other images that I showed you, like 1 or 2 colors, leaf on a faux leather, base.
Yeah.
Is this something you think you could work with or would want to work with? And we'll see what he says. I don't see him having a problem with it, but
Right. I like. I pictured like tons of hands and stuff like that, like different types of,
yeah,
like that kind of a. Because this one's a little Walking Dead for me, but like it was just something I'd whip together in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like proof of concept.
yeah. Cool. So if you guys are happy with that, then I will give him that as like a sample for like, here's the ballpark of what we're talking about. Basically, like creepy book
Right.
that may or may not contain a curse.
And I don't even know if we need to have the title on it, or if we should have the title on it.
I think the title should be on it, personally.
I kind of think so. That's me. Like that.
Maybe a simpler version of the title, or a truncated version of the title.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'll present that to Jerome too, and see if he has any professional opinion about it.
Yeah.
Where it's a variant cover, it's not. I don't think it's necessary. I personally would, if I had the variant cover, want the title on it. But
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, but I'd be curious to get his thoughts as a designer. But yeah, I'll present him to what you have to him and kind of the overall goal of what we're shooting for. Because I sent him an email like, hey, if you wanted to do a cover, I have one you could do. kind of.
Yeah.
So I just dumped all of the new art in the art channel of the Discord.
Ooh.
This all came in while I was driving home today.
All right. Oh man, that's a
Jesus.
lot of links. Okay.
Right.
So except for the last 2, they're all drafts. Some of them are light sketches. Some of them are almost done.
Does Naza look like Jamie to anyone else?
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't just me.
Yes. That smile specifically. That's a very Jamie smile.
Kinda, yeah. He fixed the eyes though; they look great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
that
super
makes
cute.
her look less demony. So. Okay. So.
Oh man, Una's not a thought anymore. I like it.
Or less of one, anyway.
She's still a thought in her heart, but like.
Yeah. Her ear came out really good though. That was
That's yeah.
that came out really well, I thought.
Yeah. That definitely is an ear that like passes for human, but like once you think about it, you're like, you should have known. I don't know what the calci is supposed to be, so to me this is mostly shapes, but I like shapes.
Well, it's supposed to be an amalgamation, kind of a.
There's definitely some spider legs in there. Did you want spider legs? Because I see spider legs.
It's kind of like a bezoar of tentacles that you find in the
Oh.
swamp. That basically. Have you seen? Okay, do you remember Creepshow?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the one with that goop sitting on top of the surface of the lake that absorbs people and that? Oh, it's so good. But anyway,
watch Creepshow.
Anyway, but it's something sort of like that, where if you're walking by in the swamp, it just looks like tentacles, and not tentacles, but like vines and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is it will reach out and grab things and then drag it into the main clump and then just sort of absorb it and only leave bones and things like that
that's
behind.
pretty gross.
That's what I was
pretty
going for.
nasty.
Thank
All right.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks. And you get the Carmeline, which is the exact opposite, which is just a bear dog.
Big bear dog.
I like bear dog.
I like A a lot. A looks really good.
A looks great. I think B looks a little more predatory.
Mm.
They both look cute. I like them.
Razorfly is going to be tough. What do we got? Oh,
Ooh.
shit! That's...
Me like it.
I'm thinking B?
Yeah, I like B too.
Yeah.
B looks more fly-like, where A looks more like bees, which is ironic.
A looks like B's. B's look like A's?
Hey, it's Jasper.
Oh, that's so perfect.
I love him.
That's the most Atlantis-looking...
That's Milo Thatch shit right there, which is Jasper, but
That is
he should
Jasper,
cosplay
yeah.
as Milo Thatch. Ooh.
And then we got Stone Sunder, and we got Dern Hollow. Oh, that's perfect.
Dern Hollow looks like a scene from Red Dead Redemption, and I'm here for it.
Does.
I'm digging it. All right.
Love it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm digging because Dirt Hollow had me worried because every time we got a revision, there was a new blotch in it,
Yeah.
and I was
So,
like, "What is being added to this every time?"
well, I think he got nervous because I don't think that, like, it's very much like an old west type town. It's like
Kind
a
of.
crossroads with just like not much else there, and I think he
Mhm.
kept feeling like there wasn't enough, and I kept being like, no, no, there's not supposed to be that much.
No,
Like,
it's there.
okay.
It's kind of
Yeah.
a podunk pass through town. Like,
Yeah, I felt bad. I was like, you got to take those mountains out of the background. Like they're red rock, like Mesa Verde type mountains. Like we got to get rid of those.
it's
Like
like
they look cool.
Here's the map. There's nothing.
That's what it was like. It's like think of it more like and I don't know where Rodolfo's from, so
Right.
I almost wanted to be like think of it more like the Great Plains rather than the desert of like Arizona.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Because there's greenery and stuff. It's just kind of flatland and
yeah,
like,
it's just flatlands.
it's
Yeah.
flyover country, is what it is.
Yeah, it's Kansas, not Arizona.
right.
So,
Yeah.
but I think it's good because it's got a little bit of that red rock feel, a little bit of that desert feel, but also I think it's got enough kind of fantasy stuff going on with it too. So
I agree.
I like it a
I think
lot.
that turned out well. I'm happy to report, are
Ooh, give us a
well
stat.
underway with our character stuff, with our
Yes.
cast as NPC stuff. So,
Ooh.
James, Jasper, Lisa, Ryan, Valerie, Steve, and Jason, all in progress right now.
Yeah. Shit.
Alex, Bree, Susan, Xavier, all done. So that leaves Ian, Jamie, me, Karen, Kelsey, Mandy, Michael, Rob, Zach. So we're about halfway there between started and done. That's way better than we've done up to this point. So I'm starting to get really optimistic about it.
I guess diversification was what we should have done. With the
Yeah, I don't know
cast.
why. For some reason,
Took
I
so
liked the
long.
idea of having a set done by
Right.
one artist, but now I'm actually glad we're doing it this way, so that the same artists who are doing the fully fictional characters are also
Yeah.
doing these. You know,
Yeah, I
um,
agree.
But again, 4 or 5 months ago, when we were so far away, it made so much sense. It's like, well, let's have a new person.
And
work.
also, like, we were preparing for the Dragon Con thing, which
True.
still went over very well.
It
but-
did.
it still went well. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that still served its purpose. You know, not a total loss there. I have Kiyoshuki, the one who did Elena, the anime style.
Oh yeah,
Ryan right now.
the name is
I was trying to-
Kiyoshuki?
Yeah, I was
That
trying to
makes
think.
a lot of sense.
I was trying to think of who in the cast would appreciate a more anime style portrait.
And Xavier already has his done, so.
Yeah,
Oh, I was about to say
Next
Xavier
up.
would
Yeah,
be down the
the
door
two
for
biggest
that.
He's a
weaves in the
samurai,
cast
too.
are already done. So.
Oh no! Yeah, you're right. Alex and Xavier are finished.
The three biggest weaves in the cast.
Here's my
So I
cherry
figured-
blossom shirt. It has cherry blossom written in
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah, pretend like it's not you. So I figured Ryan, at least he's playing a monk. That's kind of weeby, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And I don't know who else, but I figured we'll start with one. Obviously, you saw Rodolfo's working on Jasper. Xavier is working on James, which he was very excited about when I told him that.
Aww.
Aw.
I was like, do you want to work on somebody you know or somebody you don't know? I don't know what's comfortable for you. He said, somebody I know. I said, how about, let's start with James. Then he was like, hell yeah.
Aw, that's adorable.
So I
It's
told him, I
just gonna
said,
come in. It's gonna be covered with like hearts and like.
yeah.
That's like
I told-
asking like Ian to draw Alex. Like
Yeah.
it's weird.
I told him, I was like, you can work directly with James on this. Like, I don't need to be the middleman for that. Just show him your work, you know?
Yeah.
Get notes from him. But
Just don't give him the baseball cap that he was. It's like that sticks out a bit in our fantasy.
it's like,
setting.
yeah, it's a little anachronistic. He went with the hood when I asked him when Saba was doing it.
Yeah.
So
He hit me up and he's
Um,
like, "This." It says baseball cap in the description. It's like we've been over this before. Like that was.
yeah, I'm not-
That was like Delmar's pinstripe suit for fucking
Yeah.
Hondo. It's like, oh,
So aside from that, we are of 233 pieces, including the module stuff. We are 60.09% done,
oh, okay.
with another 17.5% in progress, which brings us up around 78% in progress or finished, which for 233 pieces, not
That's
too bad.
intense. Yeah.
We're getting back a lot of people that were gone for a while. Like Kiyoshiki was moving. Other people were kind of off the grid for a bit. And I'm starting to get a lot more stuff in my inbox, which is good. I expect that to probably drop off for a couple weeks because of the holidays.
Yeah, and that's like Adam slowed down a little bit just because it's but weird to say. So I'm gonna get a draft of me,
Mm-hmm.
Yulin. Oh, and what was the cast member?
Steve, right?
Steve. That
Yeah,
was,
you
yes,
and
it was
Steve,
Steve
yes.
because
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, you know what? Let's pull the trigger on this. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be getting, I should be getting drafts of those 3 soon, and a finished. It was Poe.
And
Let me see.
I can't remember.
you just posted them too.
I know.
Huh,
I posted the finished Poe.
posted.
I'm really trying to think here. I
him.
can't remember, and I'm ignoring that. But anyway, finished. It'll be finished.
Yeah.
Oh, the actor.
Leroy.
Leroy.
That's what
Leroy.
it was.
Leroy Garvey.
Oh my god, he looks ridiculous.
Leroy.
He
I love
does. I love his stupid pants.
him. Oh, he's such. I love that old actor vibe. Like
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like to think that like actors don't dress like that.
No.
Like, he just decided like, no, I'm dressing like this.
Yeah, no, it's whatever gets me the most attention. Like, yeah, he's the worst. So, I'm currently rewriting She.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm partway through that. Not as far as I want to be yet to have a re-edit, but I got to thinking about the cover because I got to that part in the story, and I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be neat if the alt cover matched the book Isaac was going after and stuff? So
Yeah, I'm into that for sure. Okay, cool. So I think that gets us. I think art is. We all know where that's at. I'll take your notes on the pieces I just posted at some point later tonight or tomorrow morning. That's fine.
sure. Yeah, a lot of it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. I also don't want to forget to talk about the Wilden, but we can save that till the end.
Yeah, we also got character notes we were going to talk about, like guilds and stuff like that. Like there was a lot of it where it's like, hey, we could talk about that in the meeting.
Right. Okay. So that being said, let's get into it. What were we gonna get into next? Let's see.
Shit, you're asking me? No. Let me open it. Hold on.
Well, do you have a preference? I'll pick something.
Yeah, pick something. Go.
Okay. Let me pull up the notes for the guild stuff because you
Oh.
mentioned it, so that's a good spot to go to.
Yeah.
Let me get there. The forest of folders that we have.
By the way, weather and I called it something, but it was like more than weather because there's like frozen lakes and rock slides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Weather and natural disasters.
Yeah, weather and natural effects.
With natural
or something.
effects or something.
Something
yeah.
like that. We can come up with a more sexy name, but I realized partway through it's like, boy, there's like 15 of these, and like obviously hurricane, blizzard, stuff like that, and then there's like heat waves and cold snaps, and it's all in there. So I figured I'd pull the trigger on that because there's so many times in the travel tables it's like, see the rules for this, and it's like I should make sure all that's in one place. So they're all there, which if we're looking at the table of contents, let me get this damn mic arm out of my way. That means the introduction, the forward, draft. All this is draft, so it needs to be gone over. But the forward, how to play in theory, the overview, the history of Alara, regions, which is the next.
Please don't read all of those.
It's a lot. Calendar, currency, diseases, drugs, drug effects tables, food and drink is
and
being
drink.
worked on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Herbs, holidays, medicine, plants, trade is being worked on. I might need some help with wording on some of these things because I'm no trade expert. I know what I want to say, but I don't know how it's supposed to be said. And weather and effects.
And how to make theory and characters.
Bree's been working on that.
The intro's done. I still have to work on the character tables. Jason's gonna do Alaran backgrounds. We'll work together on that. But
Mm-hmm.
all races are done, including all the half races. I have to put half tiefling on the list.
And I'm going to go back through and give those stats. So let's say Andy, who's actually helping us with coming up with a Fantasy Grounds module for that and backgrounds. I can give him the actual stats for that, and they would be options that people can check off.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot.
Introduction to classes. Standard classes is not done. I gotta get to that.
Oh, Jesus, so demigods we're working on, revenants we're working on, werewolves and vampires are done. Mm-hmm. Christ, there's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
There's
it's
a
big
lot
book.
done. We should not read through all the ones that are
there's
done because
several
we have a lot.
more pages. Jesus God, there's several more pages.
That's the end right there. Yeah. Then it goes into all the, like a list of characters, and I'm like, let's not put all of this in the table of contents because that would be stupid.
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know.
It's fine. We don't need them in the table of contents.
If you had to estimate, what percentage of the book do you think has a first draft written by now, at least?
80%.
That's pretty good.
I'm looking because, like, okay, let's have the people at home see, because like there's all this is done. All that's done. First draft is done, and the regions is just basically done. We need a final going through by Valerie, who's,
she's free now.
She's free. There's a first draft of all this. Character creation's being done. Alarm backgrounds is being done now. Races, Bree did all that. I'm going back through and doing stats, but yeah, classes. Endurance are moving along quite
Very
nicely.
Quickly. Yeah.
The bestiary's still got to be done, and then you get into items, which is still got to be written out, but we have artwork of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have tables for like the crit tables. All that's just got to be transferred over and worded differently for the book.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then we get into characters, which is the other half of this. And
this 13-page document.
All of that's done. First draft done.
Except for some, I gotta hit up some cast members, by the way.
Yeah, I think James and there was a couple of boops that I had to. But
some who are dragging their feet.
I'd say conservatively 75 to 80%.
I think that's pretty good, honestly. I mean, if you guys keep rolling at the rate you're going for the first draft of things, I wouldn't be shocked to see the first draft of everything done before the end of the year.
That's what we're aiming
I think
for.
so. Yeah.
And I think that puts us in an excellent spot. I would love to get a sense from Val as far as like winter break, what she thinks she's going to be able to knock out, because I know she's going to become scarce again after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, start of the semester.
But that notwithstanding, I think we'll be able to. My goal is to have all of the regions and all of the entire character chapter 100% edited before New Year's Day.
I think we can do that.
The two largest chapters in the book. I think that's doable. I think that's a reasonable goal without stressing anybody out over the holidays. I think that is an ambitious goal nonetheless, and I think it would feel really good to have those two chapters behind us, honestly.
So I had an idea.
Okay.
Throwing this out there. Gonna blue sky this. So we're doing a show for Patreon called Completely Unbalanced.
Okay, I thought you were like, we're doing this show called Dungeons and Randomness.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah. Now this gets wacky. Follow me. No.
I'm gonna make it my living
Yeah,
and be
okay.
scared every day I wake up.
What if we did an $87,000 Kickstarter for it? Now that's just crazy. I know, but
You lost me.
no, that's completely unrealistic.
No one's gonna pay you to pay Dungeons and Dragons.
So, what if for Completely Unbalanced we tested the damn near final version of Endurance? That gives us Patreon content, gives people a chance to look at what this is shaping up to be, and that cat will meow at the door. How's that sound, everybody?
He literally, I heard the alarm go off. His food is done. He ate
He's
it
fine.
all, and now he's mad that all the food's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there.
That's that buyer's remorse.
But yeah, I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Plus, I got people in Patreon group 1 and 2 playing them.
Yeah.
And, I got a bunch of people looking through it, and I've gotten some pretty good notes. It's not final, but it's getting there.
Yeah, and the good thing about having multiple playtesters too is you're going to get multiple different opinions on things, so you can see what hits your ear right and what doesn't, and kind of meet in the middle on things and things like that. So I think that's good.
It's dense as hell because it's like 27, 28 pages at this point. But I
mean, mechanically, that's got to be the most complex thing we're doing, right?
Yeah. Mechanically, definitely.
Yeah.
Werewolves and vampires are much shorter. I don't know about demigods. We might still go back on that when we start to work on them. We don't know.
I got to hit the ground running on that to see.
Yeah.
But
because that's a thing where, and you can cut this part out if you want when you post it, but we were talking about it, and it's a thing where when we first drafted the Northlands, there were no demigods. That got written in the Pantheon. Demigods are incredibly rare, and there are none. And then the gods were released, and I went, Jason, do we have to change what we said about demigods? And he was like, maybe. And I was like, do we need to make demigods an option for players? And he was like, and then I knew, and my heart dropped.
Well, that's what happens when a project stretches on for years.
It changes. That's fine. So I think that if you guys keep going at the pace you're going, there will never be a shortage of material for Susan and Val and I to edit.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, no, but I think that it's like keeping all the artists busy, right? As long as everybody wakes up every day and knows that they have things on their list, I think that's fine.
Susan's been fucking killing it.
Oh, dude, Susan's a champ. I have no doubt Valerie's just gonna, like a tiny Hulk, just gonna run through stuff.
Yeah, I might have to mute that editing channel for a day or two.
I got feelers out. I'm talking to everybody with the modules, and we have notes and stuff. We sent the bullet pointed list of so this is basically what we're doing, and pretty much everyone's gotten back to me about that. That's proving to be much more difficult than I would like it to be, because we're either emailing them, messaging them on Kickstarter, Discording them, it's everywhere. And that's just the way it is, because a lot of people don't use Discord, or they don't check their emails or whatever. And right now I'm trying to get a finalized list of exactly what they want for art, so that when we're at that section, we can just go, okay, send the artists this.
Yeah, I would like to. Obviously, I don't want to jump the gun too much in case the module changes or the backer changes their mind on it or something. But I also don't want to have the artists sitting around too long in case we lose them to another project or something.
I don't think we're going to get a lot of change from the backers.
Yeah,
because they know art takes time, and okay. If we're partway through and we have drafts of stuff, they can't. It's well, I don't want characters anymore. I want this. It's we're partway through, man. Gotta do it.
That makes sense.
They know what's up.
Yeah, I'm fine with all that. And the modules are great because they mean that when you guys finish the first draft of everything for the book, you can go, there's another book. Let's start on that.
Never stop forever.
And we never stop, and it never ends, and you get very tired. All right, so let's talk about the groups. I think that
that's one of the things.
That was the thing that we were talking about before you opened up the table of contents.
Yeah.
So let's talk about group stuff. Okay, looking at the remaining notes, the Bell of Undeath, I think you seem to agree with that as a short.
Yeah, because what it was before was the Bell of the God of Undeath.
That's
and it's
I hated that.
Yeah.
Susan highlighted it. Now I have to go back and find it because it's in one of the towns and cities. Probably during Hollow, now that I think about it. And it was is this what we want to call it? Because technically it would be the Bell of the God of Undeath. And she acknowledged that sounded worse, but she's but technically it would be correct. And I was
Fuck that.
No.
Yeah.
Bell of Undeath.
Okay, I'm going to resolve that note then.
Ring of Undeath. Like, I like it.
So there's a couple of the slogans which I like the slogans. I like the idea of the slogans. There's a couple of them that are really wordy though, especially for the groups that are kind of more rough and ready. I think they should have more punchy, kind of simple quotes. They just don't read like something a person from the Watch would say, for example.
Right, and it's tough to.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want them to sound too sharp, right? Because then it sounds like it's like, yes, we focus tested this, and we find it really strikes a chord with racists. Like, I really like. It's tough because we found that "Lock Her Up" was a great. Sorry.
You know what Carter should have done is put a face, like his face, on Thanos' body and send that out to millions of people without realizing that was the villain of the story.
And then he dies immediately after that scene. You see, Jim Starlin comment
they called it impeachment.
God. So,
we're gonna get
just using the Watch as an example, let's just say that there was like a real life parallel to that group.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their slogans come from like battle cries from back when they were relevant, and things like that, like short and punchy things that they would yell while running into battle.
Something that's like 3 words. You don't want to lose people.
In defense, really quick, in defense of the thing you have, though, that 100% sounds like something Carter would have said. So if you're thinking of a more Carter-type watch where it's like pompous and shitty, but like civilized, that could suit the watch. But the way you've described the watch on the show is a bunch of drunk racists. So
we need something.
You need to decide.
I think it could start think of it as something that started as something that Carter said at a rally, and then it kind of filtered out through the soldiers. And
there's no way to talk about this that doesn't remind us of news, is there? There's no way. Because I think it's like, so we want something short and punchy, 3 words long. Lock her up, check her emails, something like that. Build a wall, like dumb shit that like dummies would fucking. It's like, no, it's 3 words. I remember that easy. So it's chantable. It's you could put it on a sign in your front lawn, something like that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but like
to remember.
That's what we're looking for. We're gonna get yelled at, but it's something. That's what we want, right? Something.
You want something that simple
stupid.
People can rally behind.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Something that fits on a hat.
Something exactly. Something that fits on a really gaudy red hat. Absolutely.
Something that you could put on a pair of truck nuts. Like you could really put something there that
something Jeff Foxworthy would say.
I believe you're thinking of Larry the Cable Guy. Well, no, they both had 3-word things.
They all had 3-word things. There's your sign. No, my God!
It's 5. You might be a redneck.
Well, that harkens from a time when we need to sharpen it down.
He might redneck.
Wait. There's your sign. Get her done.
Yeah.
Tater salad? Like, I don't know. What was his?
You can't fix stupid was his.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's the America we're living in now, isn't it? Oh, God.
No, that was the founding fathers of the America we're living in now. They're all busy being rich and not having those accents anymore.
So we lost all our backers, right? That's it?
Yeah, everyone turned this off, and God.
Okay. Anyway.
God, you deal with the emails, because I would be furious at you if you did all this and then I had to deal with the emails.
Send your emails to dandrpodcast@gmail.com or hit me up on Twitter like some people do and tell me not to talk about politics.
Yeah.
The Carter stuff wasn't made. You talk about a project stretching on over years. It's not my fault. Anyway, look, yes, that's what we want. We want something short and sweet.
Hitler.
Yeah.
We'll go back over some of these slogans.
To be less controversial, the Royals one, I think could be more like a marketing slogan, right? Because that's what they do, right?
They do seem to be into their branding.
That's fine.
They're much into branding, so that one.
So we need to work on our SEO.
I think the gist of that is fine. I think something more quotable would probably be the way to go for them. Okay. I think those are the only 2 I highlighted as like could probably use another pass, but I think the gist of both of them is just fine.
I like the fangs.
Let's see.
So, okay. the way, so those of you who are out there just completely lost, we're talking about guilds and groups. And there's a write-up for guilds and groups where we basically talk about all the famous groups and guilds and what the way we do it is basically, here's the little slogan that they use, or like some of them don't have slogans. What I'm using is a quote that would kind of evoke emotions of that group. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of sums them up.
Yeah. So like you got House Dragon.
Like Trius definitely said the White Raven one.
Yeah, at some point, yeah. But then it's like
a direct quote.
Okay, what are they about? And then here are the benefits of the joining this group, and here are the drawbacks. Now we decided that we wanted to have all the groups from the show on there too, but they're kind of separate.
Yeah.
Now, you highlighted the benefits and drawbacks thing. I think it's cool that they are kind of held to the same standards as other groups, because while they're only 5, 6, 7 party groups, I would still say that like it's neat that we're judging them through the same lens of someone like House Dragon Keep or the Collectors or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I get that. For me, though, like, because at least most of these groups, most of these groups or about half of these groups, I guess, are past tense, fully past tense. Mm-hmm. There's no benefits or drawbacks. Those groups are gone.
Yeah.
You know? And so the way that it ends up being written, the benefits just is more history. The drawbacks is more history. So I'd rather have it be two really succinct paragraphs about here's who they were, what they did, why they did it, rather than breaking it into sections that kind of just are telling us the same type of information versus the other ones which all give very different types of information. You know.
Well, okay. Let's. Sorry, one thing.
You go ahead.
I think of it like, how many times do you look on, let's say, the Facebook group page, and you see people who are like, oh, group 1 was the best, and they're thinking about those first 10 to 17 episodes. Mm-hmm. Not the whole thing, but it's like, oh, no, early group 3 was the best. They're going to want to play in a area where those groups are still around, and we're talking about them as present tense things, where archiving them is great. I like... By doing the thing where we're like, okay, here's what they did, why they did it, and all that stuff, it's very like you're trying to sum up why 6 or 7 different people did the thing they did.
Not even 6 or 7. Group 1 is like 12 or 13 different
and it's
characters.
Really tough to definitively say. It's like, well, here's why. So it's like, yeah, maybe for Malchus, you're not speaking for Ironhide at the same time because there was no rhyme or reason. It was just...
so maybe not why they did it.
Confused very quickly, and we already have character bios for everyone on Group 1 minus 1 robot, and like everyone on group, like a lot of Group 2, like it's not even that it would be repetitive so much as it would be weird that they were even in this section if it's written a completely different way to me. Like, we all agreed that they should be in guilds and groups because that would be cool. I think it would be weird to write them completely different than the rest of the guilds and groups just because they were player characters and not NPCs.
I mean, I get your reasoning. I just feel like because we've already talked about differentiating them on the page, right? We're going to have it be like a subsection, be like, here's groups that didn't have formal names, but these are adventuring parties that had a large effect on the world.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that separation in presentation allows us to have a slightly different format as well, where these aren't groups that you as players will necessarily see in the world and join, but this is a group of people who made an impact, and here's what that impact was.
And they deserve to be noted.
And they're notable, but it's not like benefits and drawbacks of Group 1 makes me think that the expectation is that somebody playing in their living room might find Group 1 and join it, which maybe somebody will run it that way, but I don't know if I want to personally present it that way. You know what I mean?
Well, the reason I like the benefits and the drawbacks thing is because I think it injects some personality. And I know that, like, when we're talking about those player groups, I think trying to capture that personality is key, because we're really focusing on 5, 6, 7 different people. And, I mean, obviously, when we're talking about group one, we're talking about something that encapsulates 200 episodes worth of content. That's really tough.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I think it gets a little easier when you get into like group 3, group 4, because they had shorter runs. I don't know. I can see it from both sides.
So here's, I'm okay with leaving benefits and drawbacks in if that's what you guys want to do.
Mhm.
I think they should be written differently though,
Okay.
because right now what they are is like benefits. Just reading Group One. Group One saw most of Alara in their travels and rubbed elbows with some of the continent's most influential and powerful members. That's history. That's not benefits. If we're presenting it like it's a benefit of being part of that group, then I think it should be written like the other groups. You know. Because that's all past tense. That's gone.
Yeah,
that's stuff they did.
Right.
So what's the benefit of being a part of Group One if we're going to present it like it's one of the other groups in the book?
So you're just talking about a wording change, so it's not past tense.
Well, yeah. If we're gonna like, I'm totally okay with it with presenting like, hey, if you want to play a version of Alara where these groups from Arc 1 are still out there in the world and you might meet them, interact with them, and join them.
Right.
Then what would the actual present day benefits be of joining that group
and
if
that
we're going to
would
present it
still
that
be the benefit at the end of the day is still like they know a lot of
Right.
Group 1 can walk into a city and talk to the leader almost 100% of the time. So that's
Then
still
let's
an
write that.
intense
Right.
benefit. Yeah. So it just
Then
needs
let's
to be
write
written
that.
differently.
Except the ones they really dicked over.
Yeah. And that could be like you could do a
There's
little
drawbacks.
tongue-in-cheek thing where it's like for good or for bad.
Yeah,
Because there's some towns that will not let you in.
Yeah, benefits. They know a lot of powerful world leaders. Drawbacks. A lot of powerful world leaders really hate them. You know, stuff like that.
Because they kind of dicked over the drow, and they kind of dicked like there's a
lot
bunch
of people dicked over the drow.
That's true, but like they personally met with, and like I'm trying like when we have characters in the book, it's like here are present tense stats for Duncan and Yenward and Draconis and Malchus and like all these.
Yeah.
Again, save for one robot, like I'm we're prepping people to basically put these people in the world, or maybe you know. So I think it's nice to give people options.
Okay, yeah.
But
If we want to present them the same way, then I think that they will just need a little bit of a tonal change in the write-ups to make it seem like they're still out there doing stuff, versus a like a couple lines on what they've done, and then the benefits and drawbacks. I think just like Bree explained it, rather than they met a lot of powerful people, like they are able to walk into the meeting hall of any major city and they will be met, you know, stuff like that.
They know Nathaniel. They fucking know Liara.
They they bullied Nathaniel.
They have bullied, That's awkward, right? Like that's
Man, you gave me a lot of nookies back when I had hair.
Yeah, man.
Before they burned all that off. Anyway, how are you?
Remember when my dad and mom were alive? Anywho.
My dad was kind of a prick. Anyway. I also think it kind of works because, like, the White Ravens also have basically disbanded, too, and they're being written in present tense.
Yeah.
So, as a group, you can join. So I think it works out.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, as long as my thought is let's either have them be treated separately or have them all be the same. Right now, it's kind of like a half measure with the player groups, and I just want to...
We got one foot in, one foot out.
Let's make the call one way or the other.
Okay,
yeah, so,
that's fair.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I think it's not a have to have, but it's a nice to have. I'd like to have actual quotes from the groups, though, personally.
And that's tough too, because again, when you're looking, group 2, it's like live every day like it's your last. I thought that encompassed both old group 2, when they're just gallivanting all over, fighting zombies, gaining power, and post werewolf group 2, where they're a little more protective, a little more SWAT teamy, a little more like, I don't know. I tried to come up with quotes.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with the sentiment behind the quotes. For me personally, I feel like it'd be a cool Easter egg to see like an actual, just like what the quotes we're putting in for the rest of the book, you know?
Yeah. The problem, like, I don't think any of us have time to go back and listen to try to find a quote that fits every single group, and I don't want to already go to these people who are helping us find quotes for hundreds of things and go, by the way, thanks for already doing all of that and being in the process of doing that, but stop doing that and do this one specific thing right now, and also you're on a deadline, and also you need to do it because it's specifically for this part of the book.
Well, I don't think I would word it that way necessarily.
Well, that's a bad pitch.
Yeah, it's a terrible pitch.
That's a
but
bad pitch.
If the second that we decide like we need it, it becomes a thing where I'm going to have to hound people, and I don't want to hound people who are doing us a favor, basically.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a nice to have. I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
Like I think if the trouble is then if you get like 3 good quotes and then you don't have the rest, then it's inconsistent or whatever.
That's
so
what I was. Yeah, that's kind of. I'm sure they could find one for group 1 that works, but then you get into group 4 where it's like they spent most of their time terrified in a fucking attic.
I guarantee you Sora spat out some kind of mission statement at some point. But
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's just I tried to come up with stuff that kind of encompass that. Again, not necessarily a quote that was stated by a person. More, this is, it would be like on a placard on someone's desk or something.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be nice to have, but it might be something that's not feasible right now. So.
I love the DRPs on this list. I didn't realize that at first.
Yeah.
Fuck shit up should be their quote.
Get paid.
Actually, you know what? Get her done would be great.
Oh, no.
We get sued a lot, but it might be worth it. I know that's copywritten.
The cable guy seems really litigious. I don't know.
Probably. So what else do we want to talk about?
I know those were the big ones because that, I did a second round for every NPC from A to C.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I started on the next chunk yesterday, but I've actually been pretty busy at work, so I didn't get to do much more on it. I'm planning on getting that done tonight. At least one more section, maybe a couple.
I'm trying to keep up on that so that no one's waiting. So I figure right after we're done regions, we could parlay right into characters. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking. I think that by the time that Val and Susan and Jasper all finish regions, I would like to have the whole characters chapter just ready for them. You know. Shit, I feel like I had something else.
Larry, the cable guy's real name is Daniel Lawrence Whitney.
Of course it is.
He's from Connecticut.
Actually, he's from Pawnee County.
Pennsylvania?
Nebraska.
Oh, Nebraska. No,
wow. Oh, they got
really?
rednecks in Nebraska.
They
They got
okay.
some, but that ain't a real accent, though.
No, it's so fake. He had an uncle with that accent, I'm sure of it. 'Cause
Probably.
I had an uncle with an accent that I could barely understand. I don't think I ever understood a word that came out of that man's mouth because he was French Canadian and a redneck.
Woo!
So
Oof.
That's a combo.
I wonder if Xavier knows anyone with that accent.
I'm trying to think of a Carter-esque 3-word slogan. They already built a wall.
Humans first.
That's 2. It's got to be 3 words. Now I can't think of anything but Bender. It's like, hey, baby, want to kill all humans? That's all I...
That's a good one. Kill all not humans.
Yeah, see, it doesn't roll. It's got to be punchy. It's got to be something rednecks can chant.
Well, Jasper likes his portrait. That's good.
It does.
Good.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um,
Are you done chewing up my hoodie?
Well, I can't think of anything that really needs our attention right this minute.
Yeah.
oh, well, let's talk about Wilden then.
Oh yeah.
So,
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. I wrote back to Carlos. I was like, hey, so the gnome looks good. It doesn't look like you really took any of the notes on the Wilden, though. And he was like, oh, I thought I did. I was like, maybe you didn't see them. I don't know. So,
That's identical.
yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, he's really good about taking notes. So that I think it must have been just a misunderstanding. Uh,
no, this wasn't like he willfully ignored. It's like, but this is the same picture, just more
but it's the
defined.
same just with color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
They're the same
So
picture.
So here's the difficulty.
yeah.
Um, Again, I feel like I fell into the same trap that I said I wasn't going to fall into, and it's like, well, think cat butt. It's like, gotcha. I stopped at cat, and they drew a cat.
I read the description, and even I was like, "That's
It's very
way
cat.
more feline than I thought it would be." Okay.
Well,
Um,
I thought the easiest thing to do. It's like, okay, start with bipedal cat, and then we're going to add a bunch of shit to it that makes
It
not
a
a
cat
cat.
anymore.
Because it's really tough, especially when there's a language barrier. Or it's really tough to describe these fantasy creatures to somebody, and I can't show them any artwork that encompasses it. Because Christ knows I can't use the old Kaluna artwork because that ain't it. And I can't just show them a Wilden from D&D because that ain't quite it. So it's tough. I don't know
You
where
could
to
show
start.
Yeah.
the annoying lady from Shadows of Mordor.
Meh?
Remember the forest lady? She was kind of catty, and
That was just a tree.
yeah, that's true.
See, that's
Never
too
mind.
far in the other
That's too far
direction.
in the
So
other direction.
what I'm thinking, again, feline-esque, like start with that, but I like some of the features of the wild, and like those big flat like things. It's more of a the wild and Fourier much more um, Venus flytrap looking. Like it's all greenery, it's all leaves. Like I like the idea of the big flat ears. And whoa,
That's us.
that's us. Yeah.
so let's do a thing.
Okay.
Make me fix it.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw. I'm
Jameson.
gonna draw over this
Okay.
and make the corrections live, and we're gonna send him that.
Okay.
I love it.
And I'm
I
not
like
totally
the-
sure that that's cool to do. To
I
draw
don't.
over
Yeah,
this
I feel
thing,
like that's
but-
dickish. Is that dickish?
I mean, it's a thumbnail, so it's not like we're taking like a piece of finished work and drawing over it. But I kind of want to be like, I'm literally going to draw in red and be like this, except make his eyes like, shit
Right,
like
right.
that.
Right.
So, so this is the barbarian one. This is where not to cut off what you were saying, but I feel like this,
no. Stop me if I. Yeah, I'm just trying to fix it, and I don't.
Yeah.
It's like playing a game of telephone, but with bad reception.
Yeah, and again, like he's been really receptive. I'm not even sure he saw the last round of notes,
He might not
honestly.
have.
Like, which is weird, but maybe not. I don't know. So basically, I mean, again, I read the description you provided too, and I was like, I never imagined it being that feline, because that's the impression I got too. So let's
Maybe I should have just busted out the MS Paint. I don't know. Like I feel like okay.
if we can't arrive at it with this, maybe that'll be our nuclear option.
So like okay. Do you see where the bridge of the nose starts?
Up here?
Yeah, that's where I picture the ears starting. Like they're part of the forehead and just kind of travel back.
So kind of here-ish?
Like I picture them much more like long and broad. Like okay, hold on a second. Do you
Okay.
see? It's actually a bit closer to what the Wildland were in D&D.
So it's more like just like a Groot wedge head type thing almost?
Kind of like outward.
Oh, outward even.
Yes,
So,
yes.
okay. All right. Let's get rid of this shit.
Like a lot of them do look like Venus flytrap type thing. It's more plant. Like I'm thinking more fur.
Kind of like one of these type deals?
Yeah. Something like that. Like yeah.
Okay.
So the obviously the nose is very feline. The facial like it looks very Bubsy almost.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah, okay.
Little
mascot.
90s cartoon mascot.
I
Little.
think that's the meanest thing you ever could have said about a piece
No,
of
well,
artwork.
it's got tood. It's got 90s tood. Like
Apparently, it's all movie related.
So
even though I
rather
never
than
thought
a
that.
nose like this, we're obviously not talking like a more human nose. We probably want to go less human, right?
yeah, that and the eyes because the eyes have again like the middle one I think is more 90s mascot. I'm looking for something a little less
Yeah.
human, like solid color. I don't know if this is going to make any sense to you. I was thinking like a natural version of what the Warforged have, because the Warforged have these gemstone eyes that don't blink. I was thinking,
Okay.
do you know what I mean? Like a solid color, like some sort of.
It's almost like more kind of like that, like more of like
Coraline
a.
doll?
Like a Coraline. A little bit, yeah.
Oh.
Like maybe a tiny bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, yeah.
So like some shape around them, but
Yeah.
okay.
Which almost
So,
gives it a Mr. Freeze vibe in the red, but like,
well, yeah.
that's some cold shit. Like,
So maybe the nose is more like it's like a flat piece with like slits at the bottom type deal or something.
yeah, I'm kind of like the big flat, almost bulbous nose is very cat-like. Like I was thinking something a little more angular in shape. Like it's a little more like the nose was an afterthought and just kind of like boop, like popped in there.
So more like a
Yeah, it's something a little bit more like that.
okay.
Like a webcomic nose. Like every webcomic. Just color it pink for some weird reason, and we'll call it a day. I'm just here for commentary, by
That's
the way.
fine. No,
I figured you both knew that.
And again, it's really tough because again, I'm not artistic, so like I can't even take the pen. It's like this. Like I can't, it's really tough.
This is awesome, though. I'm glad to be listening to this part of the process because this is fun.
So mouth-wise, are we thinking just like "Brr," or
I was picturing a much more human mouth, like
okay?
something very, very small, like small and rounded instead of long and flat like that.
Yeah, that's a little bit too.
Like imagine these facial features on something that's very, very animalistic and furry and primal, but then it's covered in all the like it's not flat out trees. It's much more of a hardened bark, like armor.
Right, yeah, it's like it's wood, but it's not.
And there's little bits of plant life, and flecks of like, oh wow,
This is why I'm not doing the final piece.
no, that's
That looked like a Pixar character.
Right?
Like, like in a short, not in like a.
oh wow, nice.
I love him! Okay.
Oh man, what was that shitty?
The Crimson Chin.
No, John Crickfalusi's like second, like the superhero, the Fart Brothers or some shit. What was it called?
Nope.
No one.
No
I
idea.
don't know.
That's fine. That's
It
fine.
looked like the Crimson Chin.
That's yeah.
From
That's
Fairly
fine.
Odd Parents.
I don't know. That's probably too much.
That's a big chin. That's
Big chin. I did his mouth probably way too up high for that.
But again, I'm not even against the face because I picture it stretching downward like that, like kind of very triangular.
Yeah, almost like a wooden mask.
Almost, yeah. Now you're like I think like Zelda Majora's Mask-esque style. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's yes, there you go. Like because there's lots of fur and stuff, and then there's going to be like almost over top their body. Like I love all these angular pieces that are jutting out because that's not armor, that's more tree barkish. Like it's much more of a hardened
Right,
wooden
yeah.
carapace almost.
I kind of like this stuff in the back, like this could be leaves or something.
Totally. Yeah. I love that shit as personality because it's like I picture them as much more warrior-esque.
Yeah.
Because, and this is no offense, a lot of people took Kaluna as a perfect representation. It's like, well, then how the fuck are they protecting anything? Like, if they
Yeah.
were all very squishy and kind of like, I don't want to
Hippies?
fight. Yeah, very hippie-esque. It's like, what are they protecting then with only a few of them? guarding this ancient
There's
grove.
no Whole Foods in the
Right.
Silver Glade.
There's a reason Kaluna left. Like, they didn't fit in, and that's fine. But, yeah.
Okay, so we like all this stuff. Maybe
I
a little
love
bit
all
more
that.
wooden and stuff. Okay, so see, I might not even need to show this to Carlos, but this gives me a better understanding of kind of like
Yeah.
But you
the
get what I'm
language
saying,
that
right?
we use. Yeah, it's almost like they're wearing wooden armor that they can't take off. type deal.
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Right. So, like, picture a cat person, except not a cat,
You see what I'm saying? It's really
and
tough to...
covered in bark and like roots and leaves that look like they might come off but don't. I
Right.
guess. Right. Okay.
Very difficult. And now add a language barrier.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna get carried away. The other part that probably I think is probably too feline is probably this tail, right?
Well, I kind of like the spikes at the end of it and stuff. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
As long as it just wasn't a cat tail, because it's like, yeah, some of them have tails. That's like, because that's again the primal animalistic thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like he added some like barbs to it, some like almost like a bit of cacti root or like thorns or
Oh
something.
yeah. Yeah. Some.
Yeah, like I like that kind of stuff because it's a blending of those two things.
Okay. Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Okay. What about the structure of like the feet? Because it's definitely got that like.
I was
You know,
fine with that just because,
okay.
again,
Okay.
I didn't want to take all the feline out of it because it's almost a
Right.
50-50 blend of feline and like flora. It's
So
like
it's mostly
flora and
just the
fauna
faces,
combined.
then.
Yes.
It's just the faces then.
Yeah,
really.
that's that middle one is that could be any Genesis box cover.
Good. Okay, so that's good. So we like leafy hair, we like barky skin, we
Yep.
like spiky tails,
Yep.
and we just want let's try again on the face here real quick,
Yeah.
just to see if we can get consistent with it. So rather than ears, we want to have it be like almost like a wooden mask.
Yeah, you can even go
Up this
out
way.
like almost like wings or something like that. Like I love the like you can go out with it a little bit. Yeah, like
Like Wolverine hair.
yeah, yes. Yes, but made of like the yes.
Yeah, so it's literally like a tribal mask is what we're looking at here.
Yeah, because
Because I
if you
even
kept-
like this blocky wooden nose. If it's square enough, it doesn't look feline anymore.
yeah.
But then you can do crazy shit like having like heavy brows with like the eyes underneath it or something. You know?
Yeah, almost like one of the Easter Island heads it starts looking like.
Right. Yeah. So there's some variation in there, and there's like personality in it, but
Yes.
it still looks very masky.
Because like with the cat-like features you were drawing, you start getting into like Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank territory with the hair
Yeah.
that goes out.
See, that's very cat.
Yeah, that's.
We don't need that.
Oh, he looks sad.
He looks done with your shit.
Yeah.
He looks.
So that's
a
very
Garfield
cat.
one.
That's yeah. See, that Wilden hates Mondays. I know that just from looking
But
at
he loves lasagna.
it.
Ugh.
And now they're gonna make him a Cthulian nightmare.
I hate that shit. I hate Reddit so much for all that I'm sorry, John horse shit right now.
Yeah, that was funny for like 2 days, and it's still at the top of Reddit every single day. They're doing it to other things now, like, oh, I did it, but it's SpongeBob. And I'm like, I stopped caring long before this even became a
Why didn't
thing.
Kathy get that treatment?
I don't know.
It's the next step of trying to make something edgy just by making everybody like
Yeah.
sad. Now it's
Yeah.
just everything's a Cthulhu nightmare. Sorry guys, just one sec.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Da, 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 da.
I don't even know what that was.
Boy, we got our work cut out for us tomorrow.
Hmm?
There's notes and stuff. Just like I want to plug in. It's like I got to rewrite that story. I want to.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
there's
I thought that was a new thing that just happened. I was like,
No,
we're
not
still
that I
doing the
know
same
of.
stuff.
not that I know of.
You gotta poke your head though.
Okay.
What do we have for dinner?
Shit, I don't know.
Are we having head pokes for dinner?
I guess.
Yum 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 yum. Yep.
Certainly isn't meat.
Look, it's been a whole hour. You gotta get over it.
Is $50. of meat.
We rounded that up.
It's $45 to $50.
It's $30 to $45.
No. There was steak.
The steak
and
was only
chicken.
$8.12.
Both packages?
No, the second package was like $8 and something cents too, and then the chicken was like $13.
Okay.
And the sausage.
The sausage I do
And the
not know
ham.
the price of. The ham was $5. That was cheap ass ham.
Anyway.
Anyway, hi
Hey.
Jameson.
Hello.
We were debating how much money we lost by not putting away that bag of food.
Oh, that's a fun conversation.
I'm trying to make Jason look on the bright side, and that's really not my brand, so...
Really going outside my comfort zone for that.
There you go. You're getting this. Yeah. Those soulless dot eyes. I like it.
I like those Coraline eyes.
You can kind of like shape around them a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I think that at least gives me the language to be able to go and back to him and be like...
That angle looks like a gremlin.
Oh,
It
it
does
looks like
kind
a
of, yeah.
Pippin!
Go like...
Pippin, it's you!
Not a Mogwai, a gremlin.
No, but he's got the ears. Everything with big ears is a Pippin.
Then we've gone too
Mouth
cute.
full of teeth.
Perfect.
Alright, I love that.
Perfect. Yes, that.
All right, so
I
that's
want
enough
one
of
of those.
I'll take a dozen. I love it! I love it! Gimme! Let's put that on a shirt.
Yeah, next shirt. There you go.
There you go.
You didn't save it, Jameson. Don't
No, I
worry,
didn't save it.
1,000 people just screen capped this
Oh, good. Perfect.
this moment.
That's...
So
I've never shared my screen drawing ever, and that's what I used it on. So.
That was great.
it was wonderful.
Better than me. All right. Is there anything else that? What are our goals for this week? We already kind of talked about like we're trying to. Obviously, it's just characters and regions.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's easy art, and I'm gonna try to get at least my first pass done on the entire character list, which I think I can do. Yeah, because by the time I get my first pass done on the character list, you've already done your second pass on the ones that I've already done, so you guys will be right on my heels. So I'll do a second pass if I finish the first.
That's my goal.
I should be able to work on the tables. I'm gonna work on the Dying Breed. I'm actually really glad that I didn't do it this morning because I was writing the race thing for the SI, and it's like there are two different breeds of those creatures. We should probably name them. And considering the story features two different breeds, it's a good thing that I can now just use the actual verbiage instead of
Yeah.
long ass descriptions. So that's cool. It's fun, right?
Yeah. Fiddling with this.
I've been playing with that the whole time. It's great. Yeah, I think we're good though. I think
Other than
we're
that,
doing
I
great.
think we're good. I think we'll have a more full book meeting next time.
Yeah, speaking of which, actually, real quick, let me pull up a calendar, because the holidays are coming.
Oh yeah, that
Old
thing.
chestnut.
Yeah.
So next week, I think we should have a nice full book meeting, because it'll be the 18th. The week after that, it's on Christmas Day. The week after that, it's New Year's Day. So we should probably think about...
Yeah, let's not do it Christmas Day.
Yeah.
That seems unusually cruel.
I wanted to ask you about something, Jameson. For the Mutants and Masterminds group, the thing that you guys were planning for the 23rd, that was only going to be character creation. So it was only going to be like an hour or 2 hours long. I didn't know if that changed anything, and I didn't want to say it in front of the group because it felt like calling you out somehow. So, like, if that changes anything, if it doesn't, it's fine.
Oh yeah, no. I was like, hey, what would you think if I did a character thing in December for the third game I'm doing? So, first of all.
So how's the divorce going?
And she was like, when? I was like, how about the 23rd? She was like, of January? I was like, no. No.
I feel like you could have pitched this better.
So
in
I think
retrospect.
I think
Let
the
me
week
talk to her. No.
the week after Christmas might be better than the week
You're
before
totally
Christmas.
fine. I just wanted
Yeah,
to
dude, you're
make sure that you
fine,
knew
dude.
that it was just
I'm excited because
character
I thought of my character yesterday, and I am thrilled with him, and I want to make him.
I kept that group small just so we'll.
creation. Yeah, the
Try to
scheduling for that
avoid
one should be
some
very
scheduling
easy
stuff.
because it's just 4 of you.
Yeah,
Which also
I'm
makes
down.
sense considering how OP characters can apparently get. So
Well, yeah, it's superhero stuff.
Well, yeah. I'm
awesome.
yeah, I'm excited for it though. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Good.
So, well, pending DM veto, but
Yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to play that one a little more fast and loose.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
What's happening?
So
Okay. So we all know what we're doing.
mm-hmm.
We know what Wilden look like now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you guys get a chance either tonight or early tomorrow, when you punch in, I'll take this notes on the stuff that I posted tonight.
A lot of it looks fan-freaking-tastic. I love it.
Yeah, whatever you got. A lot of the pieces. So Arthur right now has like 15 pieces with him. Because here's what happened. You guys probably noticed this. If I do this, by the way, let me know. I emailed everything to you thinking it was him. I was like,
oh no,
that's what you were doing.
You forwarded it.
Yeah. I was like, because what happens is I got his invoice, I forwarded that to you, but then the next time I hit reply, if I don't check it,
Yes.
keeps your addresses in there.
You have to
No.
You have to trash that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
So usually I catch it. This time I sent you his list, and then when I followed up 5 days later, it was still to you.
It was still to us, and that's the reason I asked, like, is Arthur okay? Because I thought you had forwarded us
Yeah.
you
No,
trying to
yeah,
reach
no.
him. I should
No,
have
that
said
was just me
something. I
being
should have
mean.
been like, oh, I got your email. Is Arthur okay? And then you would have realized.
I realized, and then 10 minutes after I realized, when I was like, shit, all right, well, I better collect all the stuff that's come in since then and give it all to him. He actually emailed me. He was like, hey, do you have any more work? Because I'm available. I was like,
Do I?
boy, do I. Like, right in front of him. So I actually emailed him yesterday. I was like, hey, how's too much work treating you? And he was like, yeah, I sent it all to my flatter. He has a flatter. So he has a different person who does all the flat colors, and then he goes in and does all the color rendering, all the shading and stuff.
Oh wow, yeah.
So Arthur's a big deal.
Oh boy.
That's
That's freaking
Oh, and
cool.
real quick, this is something I've been meaning to tell you guys about for like 6 weeks. Remember when we were looking for map makers way back when,
yeah.
early mid-October? I was asking around a couple people, and I sent you guys that top-down 3/4 view map that we were like, it's not really gonna work.
Yeah.
The guy who sent me that was like, so what's this for? It's like, well, it's this podcast, Dungeon Randomness. We ran a Kickstarter. I sent him a link to the Kickstarter. He's like, oh, were you guys at Dragon Con? I met one of you guys at Dragon Con, Jameson Alcorn. I was like,
Hey.
we met, huh? That was me. He paneled next to me at one of my bullshit panels. Sat right next to me.
You're a pretty big deal.
Wow. Okay.
Completely on Discord. I joined a map makers group on Discord.
Wow.
Threw it into the channel and was like, "Hey, any map makers, DM me direct." It's not my real name on the Discord or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
He DM'd me. We were talking back and forth, and he just dropped my actual name in conversation. And it was like, "Yeah, that's me.
Oh boy.
That's me." Hi. He was like, oh shit, and then it felt really weird to be like, yeah, we're not gonna go with you now.
Oh, well, that doesn't mean we can't. So, again, I know Andy wants to do something in the Underdark, and I know that we're gonna need maps for that. So, I don't know. I still don't know.
I don't even know how you do a 3/4 map of the Underdark.
Yeah, that would be really tough.
It's caves.
Greg's looking for more work.
Yeah. Well, screw Greg.
I'll tell him.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought that was a weird
that's
super funny.
story,
That's
super cute.
yeah. So
It's nice of him to remember you.
February.
yes.
February 1st.
What's February 1st?
February 1st is the day we're going to send in our application to get a table at Dragon Con.
Oh, good. Okay.
That's the day it opens.
That's the day it opens?
That's the
Okay.
day it opens.
You also have to apply with guests.
It is not inexpensive.
Did they give you a number yet?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's somewhere in the area of $1,500
Just to have a table?
just to have a table.
Makes
It
sense.
depends on where you get it and stuff. Here, I could say, you know what? I'll send you guys the whole application thing.
I mean, here's the thing.
It's got to be worth it for us to do it.
You would make money
I know.
with the table there.
I know. If we bring enough books.
Yeah, that's the trouble, is getting everything there, getting everything back.
Would we make
know.
enough money to make it worth it to pay for the table, to pay for the shipping, to get everything there?
I know. It's something we got to talk about, but we don't have a lot
Well,
of time to do it.
Well, we got 2 months.
Right, but in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
we're also busy with a couple of other things.
What are you talking about? I'm free all the time.
It might be, I mean, I'm just thinking out loud, but it might be a better idea to table at some more local things first, just to kind of, because I feel like tabling at Dragon Con for your first vendor table,
That's true too.
That's
That's
like
big dick
drinking.
energy.
That's some big
that's
energy.
drinking out of a fire hose is what that is.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if we're
But
ready
like,
for that.
here's the thing. That's where we're gonna be.
that's the thing.
We've always been
Yeah.
saying we need to be at smaller cons too. We always say that, and then we never do it because it's hard and we don't want to.
Yeah, we
and
also say we're
busy.
gonna save money. Then we just let meat spoil on our kitchen table. So like,
Wow.
You meat spoilers.
no, I don't know. It's something we got some time to talk about it. We can look at the application and stuff like that. But like, I look at it like, look, we already have a presence there. We're gonna be there. We have enough people to kind of staff it and do it the right way, and we're gonna have books. So like, I think that is catnip. Like, this cover, this book, sitting it out in front of people like that, they'll buy it. It's a good book. People will buy it.
Yeah.
I think we'd make our money back plus.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I think so.
I wonder if there's any rules against this, first of all, but also if there's anyone who would be a good fit to go halvesies on a table. Because if we're just selling the one book, first of all, a full table might be overboard. Or even 2 books if we also sold Pub Crawl, and 3 books if we sold the module.
Yeah, but if you also had coins, and then you could print up posters of some of the nicer artwork, and you could do a lot of stuff.
That's true. Yeah, there's a
Sell
lot
some
we could do to fill
T-shirts. You could mass produce some of your more popular T-shirts and sell those. Like, there's a lot you could do, but then you're in the tabling business after that. Like,
it. Yeah, because
You know.
Well, that's why you see those people. There's a lot of those people who do one con. I mean, not like Wormwood Academy and shit like that, but like, you see a lot of those people who it's like, I see you here every year. This is my 5th year. I've seen you here every year. And those people are giving shit away by the end of the con because they don't want to drag it back.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's something that's
so I think
something to talk about.
as a first tabling experience, I think it's a big risk, but I think it's a big reward. So it's something to think about.
It's a real Babe Ruth calling your shot moment.
It is, yeah, and I'd hate to see it not work out, but let's. All right. Well, we've got a date. We have a deadline, and do you have to pay when you apply for it, or do you have to pay when you get it?
I would think you got to pay for when you get it. What's the point of paying for it if you're not approved?
There might be a deposit or something. I don't know.
It could be. I'll look it over again. I'll send it.
Yeah,
to
look it
everybody.
over, because if there's no charge in applying, let's apply, and then if we get it, we can make a decision. You know.
That's fair.
That's true.
That's fair.
And I don't know, are the rules against selling books out the back after a live game or something like
Yes.
that? Like, there are.
I mean,
Yeah.
Eloy does it.
Well-
Eloy did it once, and even that was like technically against. Like, okay, just like people advertise everywhere, they could walk up to you any minute. And it's like, get that shit out of here. Like,
Right.
there's certain things that people do that.
So you mean at the end of the live game, I shouldn't have been like, come buy my book at
I mean,
That was the very end of the night. Like,
yeah.
right,
Okay.
again. And as the
Okay.
con goes on, the rules get a little more lax. Like, trust me, I got a lot of ideas for stuff that we can print up and put. Like, that live game's going to be DNR'd out. Like, the banners, like, it's like, oh, that's cool? Like,
Well, yeah, and we had some art done in August. Now we got most of the
all
art
the
done.
art.
dude.
we have so much
Yeah.
to work with now.
Baby Anywho, yeah. So
And at that point, we'll actually be able to use it for stuff.
yeah.
I did use.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you saw Jameson. The DRP logo has Lockford in the background.
I didn't see that.
It's
No, I
a
was
very,
looking.
very small portion of Lockford, but it's like the
Cool.
moon and the ravens, and it looks cool. And I was like, all right, I think this is okay because it's only like 1/50th of the actual picture.
Yeah. And a lot of the stuff
Yeah.
we show off.
I mean, I'm a proponent of showing off the art anyway,
That's
right? Like the
true.
people who are interested in seeing it, they're going to see it when the book comes out.
Yeah,
so
totally.
That's true.
I
So-
wanted to do like there's a bunch of stuff I count down to when the book launches and stuff, and that like
Yeah.
apparently, and this is crazy.
oh,
What
that is the lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
what was gonna be a meetup in Sacramento looks like it might be turning into a book launch party because there's so many fucking people on the West Coast that want to make the drive.
Mm,
Ooh.
cool.
And we're doing it.
Man, we could not ship a lot of books if we just made people show us their IDs and then we hand them the fucking rewards.
That seems shitty, but
No.
like,
How does
No,
it-
I mean,
you get to
if
meet
you're
the author
doing
and get
it,
the
put it
book
out there
in
and be like,
person.
hey, if you want to meet us and pick up the book in person. you know.
Yeah. Just
So what
let
I'm
us know
saying
ahead of
is,
time.
in February or March or whatever, you need to fly out and we'll meet you.
Ooh.
and we'll have a party. That's not a no.
I'll get back to you on
That's
that.
not a no.
No, it's not. I mean, wait till Lindsay gets
We'll
home,
get
then it'll be a
we'll
no.
Get some
And-
local beer.
Oh, dude, there's a brewery right down the
Beer
street.
stuff?
Beer.
We'll pick up some of your beer.
Oh shit! Let me check prices. Hang on.
You know it's on us because you're visiting. You're a guest. Just saying.
Beer.
I will look into the logistics of it.
Shit, I thought that would be a no. I didn't know we were pitching. Damn.
Be careful what you ask for. I guess.
That's how you get a Jameson on your couch. That's how you.
What we do,
I'll
we
just
have
show
a
up
very
tomorrow.
nice air mattress that may or may not have a hole in it.
It doesn't.
Dude,
I don't think it
benefit
does.
of me traveling, I can sleep anywhere. I will sleep upside down in the corner. I don't care. Like
Here's the
I'm-
thing.
Our
We got
couch
a
is
nice
nice.
cushy couch
Yeah.
and we got a nice cushy air mattress.
We do.
So
Yeah.
it's fine.
We're cushy
more than enough.
Anywho,
Sleep on the floor.
this has been a lovely hour and a half, but let's
Yeah.
yeah. I'll let you go, man. Thank you.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
good.
Thanks, guys.
We're doing
Um,
great
Thanks
for
for the
December.
wild and stuff. That was awesome.
Yes, thank
It
you.
was also
Yeah,
just fun
cool.
to see you draw things. It's neat.
I got to figure out how to like do that for myself and just like stream it sometimes. Who knows?
Good.
Yep.
Picaro,
Maybe-
I think it's called.
Maybe when my computer isn't a whole big pile of shit.
That would help. Yeah.
So, all right, guys,
All right, man.
go eat some rotten meat.
Yep, we'll do it. See you later.
Yum yum yum.
Bye.